Today I have the Artist Pro 16 from XPPen, featuring their new X3 Smart Chip technology. Now this promises better pen performance and accuracy. We're going to see if it does just that in just a minute.
I ain't getting out of bed today. Keep waking up from the previous night.
The Artist Pro 16 is a pen display. You draw directly on display with a pen, however, it needs its own host computer, either a PC or a laptop. Moving on to the unboxing, we have care package number 1. That's where you'll find your microfiber cloth, some instructions, and your smudge guard glove. The second care package is going to contain all your cabling. First is going to be a USB-A to USB-A extension cable, which is used if you want to connect to the tablet to one of the included AC power adapters. Your 3-in-1 cable has a USB-C connector that goes straight into the tablet. On the other side, 2 USB-A ports, one for data, one for power if you have the ports on your host computer. Finally, HDMI for video also goes into your host computer. A fancy pen holder with the pen and your spare nibs inside. And there it is, your nice piece of kit. You'll notice on the left side they include just about any kind of AC adapter you're ever going to need. And on the right, of course, the smudge guard glove. I'm John, and I do reviews and tutorials on things used in the creative process. Now if you watch to the end of this video, a kid who took your tricycle in the 5th grade, I'll make sure gets a good talking to by someone else. I mean, I do it myself, but I'm vertically challenged. But anyway, remember who you were supposed to be, and drop a like, drop a comment, hit that sub button, click that bell so you won't miss anything. Okay, let's pay some bills. As mentioned, this is a pen display, measured 15 by 4 inches diagonally. The resolution is 1920 by 1080. Technology is electromagnetic resonance. That is by far the best pen technology for digital artists as far as I'm concerned. Contrast ratio is 1000:1. It has 1 virtual and 1 mechanical wheel. What does that mean? The inside wheel is touch sensitive. The outside wheel, you can physically spin it. These can be configured for brush size, zoom, rotate, and a plethora of other options. In addition to that, there's 8 programmable press keys, and 1 is used to cycle through the different options on the mechanical wheel. And the color gamut is 99% Adobe RGB, 94% NTSC, 133% sRGB. Now this tablet is ridiculous thin, so you're not going to see vessel mount screws on the back of it. Now the connectivity options are simple. On the left side of the tablet, the first tab you're going to have is a security slot. Second option is USB-C. Next you have power. And then finally the rocker is brightness up and down. Let's check this pen out. This is the first time I'm ever reviewing the X3 Elite Plus. It's noticeably thinner than some of the other pens I've reviewed before, and very lightweight. It has 8,192 pressure levels. It's battery free thanks to that EMR. Report rate is 200 PPS, certainly fast enough to help in those fast strokes. And tilt is supported at 60 degrees. Now I would be remiss if I didn't get into this X3 Smart Chip a little bit. After all, it's just marketing speak, right? No, it isn't. XPPen has quantified exactly what it does and the increase in performance, most notably in the sensitivity and the initial activation force. Translated means your strokes are going to register with a lot less pressure than you're used to, meaning you're going to get a lot lighter lines, which has been the distinction between some digital pens before. This pen bridges the gap. In addition, they got that tip a lot closer to the digitizer. That means less parallax and more accuracy. A closer look at the pen reveals 2 programmable buttons and a digital eraser that works pretty well on the back of the pen. I mentioned how thin it is, but it still retains that XPPen trademark taper towards the back. And it's super light and feels really, really good. Now inside the pen case, you've got 9 nibs plus a nib remover. Changing the nib is really easy. You just pop that nib into the nib remover, give it a slight tilt, and pull the nib right out. Just make sure you're paying attention and you don't launch it like a missile like I did. XPPen has stands available, but I happen to have one of these little Rector set type stands that really gives me about 1,000,000 positions. So I thought I'd show it here. I'll link it down below for anybody who's interested, but I was using it for my iPad and it worked great for this tablet as well. It folds up tiny too, so you can stick it in any laptop bag. I honestly think any digital artist that travels should probably have one. What's it look like I'm doing? I'm trying to put on my new XPPen bracelet that came with my fancy desk pad. No, I don't need any help. Just having a hard time because I don't have my glasses on. By the way, where the hell are my glasses? Now on the driver, you got a lot of functionality built in here. Starting off by configuring your work area, which screen you're using, if you need any rotation, for example if you're left-handed, and also various display settings such as brightness, contrast, color, temperature, etc. Pen settings are fairly standard. This is where you'll configure those buttons. And up in the corner, you do have custom profiles per application. Just click that plus button, pick the application of choice, and set your configuration how you want it. Talked about shortcut keys. This is basically where you program them. Very easy to do. Just press the keys you want. If you make a mistake, hit clear, hit OK, and you can even add a custom name to it. It's the same thing with the wheel. Just keep in mind on roller 2, wherever you set that default, that's where it's going to stay. When you hit that shortcut key to cycle through options, that's really for roller 1. But basically roller 1 you can cycle through 4, roller 2 is touch based. So for me, I use that for brush size. Last but not least, up at the gear, you can disable tilt, you can disable the shortcut keys. Most importantly, you can back up your config. Now if you don't have 2 USB-A ports on your host computer, you're going to use that extender cable and just use the red one so you don't get it mixed up. Keep the black for data. On the other side, you're going to pop it into the included AC adapter and that's going to go into the wall. Finally, you're going to pop that 3-in-1 cable, the USB-C side, right into the side of the tablet and you are good to go. Okay, all that said, none of this means anything if the pen doesn't perform. So let's put it through some tests. Now this might look a little different to you. I've been streaming on Twitch, so when I test these tablets, I'm doing it live, and what you're seeing here are clips from those live tests. So the first thing we like to do is open up Sketchbook Pro, because it's easy, and it tells me what I really need to see right away. The first thing we want to see is that initial activation force. You'll notice right away that light side is as advertised. You're looking for a nice even gradient, from light to medium to hard, and then finally a nice taper off. If you notice in those pencil lines, not only does it taper off, but there's actually a gradient on the way out as I lifted the tip of the pen. See, that's that initial activation force in action. I usually move to some crosshatching here, and I do some tests to see because it is EMR and there is EMR lag that's standard. But I want to make sure that the pen is keeping up with me. In other words, what I'm looking for is lag. So none of this is really art-worthy, other than I'm moving that pen at different intervals. So for example, I'm going really fast, and then I'm going really slow. I'm lifting that pen a little bit and lightening up on the pressure. I'm doing everything I can to see if this pen makes any errors, skips lines, or anything like that. Now keep in mind, I used this display for about 2 weeks, and everything I'm seeing so far checks out. So we're going to use the pen tool now, and really test those pressure curves. And these are really good. Consistent with the pencil, even taper, beautiful at the end. I'm going to move to these ellipses. It's like the same test, it's just a little different. You change the equation a little bit, sometimes the pen acts different. But you can see on those initial strokes of the ellipses how light it is. And then right around in the middle, it retains that pressure. Finally, I'm ending by pressing the pen down harder, and you can see how beautiful the stroke is. Let's see if we could break it here just a little further. What's the difference in this line? I'm starting out light and I'm ending out light, but this time I'm not curving the line, it's just straight away. And again, the cross-hatching here is consistent. Alright, let's move on to tilt. This is what we're looking for. We're making sure tilt works and the cursor's not bouncing all over the place when you tilt the pen. That's why I use this Expressi, because you guys looking at the video can literally see the icon of the brush. So you know that I'm not messing around. But straight off the bat, look, when you got a straight line, the pen's upright, and then when you tilt it, it's operating exactly what it's going to be. But again, let's verify what we think we just saw by going to Clip Studio Paint, and you see we get the same exact thing. What are you looking for? You're looking to make sure that cursor that I'm showing on the screen isn't bouncing, and you want to make sure when you tilt the pencil that you're getting a nice shade without increasing the size of the brush. This is why I show the tablet view as well, folks. We're not messing around here. Now a couple of side notes, you'll notice this tablet doesn't come with a stand. So my desk is constantly a mess. I got one of the new XPPen desk pads, which is waterproof and you can wash it. And more importantly, you can stick the pen tablet right on the pad and it's not going to move around on you. It even keeps the red baron upright. Now if you flip it, there's actually a nice orange color as well. If you're not using it, you can roll it up and use this strap to keep it in place instead of a rubber band, like I did before I knew what it was. Okay, one last test. Photoshop is open, stabilization is off. I got a dead pixel brush. And we're going to bang out these ruler tests. Now, one thing to note is that I did have to turn Windows Ink off in the XPPen driver. Now, that's a known Adobe bug, something with Adobe and Windows, I don't know what it is, but either way, you uncheck the box and it worked just fine. Obviously, these slow diagonal lines with the ruler are meant to show any line wobble, and there is some for sure, although it's not world-ending for me, because I don't know anybody who actually draws like this. And it really didn't have any impact into my enjoyment of using this tablet. I know it's meant to go around the desk pad. Now. Well, I mean, don't just stand there. Help me. This thing is like made of steel. Can you get this thing off of me? Okay, let's see if we could stick the landing on this review. Now, I said a lot of nice things about this tablet. Is this as much fun to use as I made it out to be? Yeah. I'm actually currently taking an art class right now online, and I've been using this tablet to do it. So this isn't some instance where I used it for a couple days and then I bang out a review. I used it streaming live on Twitch and to do my class. I had zero issues. No line quality problems, no line skipping, no driver crashing, nothing like that. This is a fully laminated screen which minimizes parallax like we talked about. It's also anti-glare. It's a really bright display, so even with the window open and the sunlight coming in, I was still able to use it. And really, I don't see anything that's going to prevent me from recommending this 16-inch tablet to anyone who asks me in the 16-inch category which device I would recommend. And that's saying a lot because there's a whole lot of them out there. I think XPPen has hit that perfect sweet spot in between performance and value, which is really hard to do. And if you have any specific questions, you can drop them below in the comments. You guys know I answer everyone. Now, I hope this video was helpful. If you'd like to see more like it, you could check these guys out over here, or check us out on Twitch and Discord, and you could ask any question live about any pen, display, or tablet you want. And I'll see you guys in the next one.